Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Proposed trade sees Cowboys unload $39 million veteran to Steelers. Apropos trade scenario would see the Dallas Cowboys part ways with one of their more experienced players. In a proposed trade from Bleacher Report's Gary Davenport, the Cowboys would trade wide receiver Brandon Cooks to the Pittsburgh Steelers in exchange for a 2025 third-round draft pick. Davenport attributes the Cowboys' need to create salary cap space for CeeDee Lamb's upcoming contract as a big reason to unload Cooks' $8 million base salary for the 2024 season. Cooks is on the verge of completing the final year of a two-year, $39.6 million contract extension he previously signed with the Houston Texans. But trading Cooks after June 1 would clear $8 million off the books for the Cowboys, money that could be used to help extend Lamb, writes Davenport. And while Cooks was quiet in terms of yards and catches last year, he found the end zone 8 times and has 6 1,000-yard seasons on his NFL resume. Best of all, Cooks would be easily the least expensive wide receiver on this list. Not only is the 30-year-old Cooks extremely affordable, Davenport actually argues that Cooks may be the most realistic option of the 6 trade targets he mentions in his article. Along with Cooks, Davenport also mentions well-known receivers such as Deebo Samuel, T. Higgins, DK Metcalf, Brandon Ayuk and Courtland Sutton. On some level, this may be the most realistic potential trade on this list. After all, if anyone in the NFL knows what it's like to be traded, it's Dallas Cowboys wide receiver Brandon Cooks, writes Davenport. The 5'10" Cooks remains a productive receiver as he enters the 11th season of his career. He's coming off of an 8-touchdown campaign in his first season in Dallas, the second most receiving touchdowns he's caught in a single season in his career. The number of touchdowns ranked second among all Cowboys players, and he actually vastly outperformed ex-Dallas receiver Michael Gallup, who produced just 34 receptions and 418 receiving yards to Cook's 54 receptions for 657 receiving yards. The Steelers are mentioned as a potential landing spot due to the fact that they're in the market for another starting wideout after trading Deontay Johnson to the Carolina Panthers. As reported by KOA's Benjamin Albright, the Steelers have inquired about Ayuk, Sutton and Metcalf. They called about Ayuk and Sutton and have been rebuffed, at least with opening talks, reported Albright on Tuesday, April 30. Called about DK, I don't believe a trade would get done there until after June 1, if one got done at all. While the idea of trading Cooks makes sense from a salary cap standpoint, it makes little sense from a personnel standpoint. Dallas is already thin when it comes to their wide receiver depth chart, especially following the release of Gallup. They're hoping that Jalen Tolbert can finally break out as the number 3 receiver. Furthermore, they used just one draft pick on a wide receiver in Southeast Missouri State's Ryan Flournoy during the 6th round. It's true that the Cowboys have been very cautious when it comes to spending money in free agency this offseason. This is due to planning around future contracts when it comes to not only Lamb, but also Dak Prescott and Micah Parsons. However, as much as the Steelers would love to add Cooks as an affordable number 2 option next to George Pickens, don't expect the Cowboys to bite. They need Cooks as a complementary option to Lamb for the 2024 season. We were impressed with what we saw on film in 2013 from Oregon State wide receiver Marcus Wheaton. We're even more impressed with his former teammate, likely 2014 first-round pick Brandon Cooks. The pair walked out of Corvallis, Oregon, with 2 of the best receiving careers in school history, and along the way, both picked up on outstanding coaching and a feel of the modern intricacies of today's passing offense. Cooks was living in the senior Wheaton's shadow. As soon as he left, Cooks set a Pac-12 record with 1,730 receiving yards, a mark that also led all of FBS. His 128 catches were second in the nation. His production was trumped up a bit due to the fact he was the first, second and third option in Oregon State's offense, and he caught a lot of wide-running passes, but it shouldn't take the shine off what was a truly excellent season. However, he was used play-to-play doesn't change plays like this. Cooks completely owns this defender from the snap. Watch him eye up his man and the field as he sets up his route. He recognizes the fact Cal is covering him in man, without deep help. Did Antonio Brown leak Steelers' first game? The Pittsburgh Steelers will find out their schedule this Thursday, May 9th, beginning their 2024 journey toward a Super Bowl. Until the release date, leaks will begin and rumors will spread about potential games that the league has let slip. The first leak of the season may have come from a familiar face. Behind his Test X account, Antonio Brown said the Steelers will open the 2024 regular season on the road in Denver, playing the Broncos on Sunday Night Football. This game holds significance for one big reason: Russell Wilson. If Wilson is the starter in Pittsburgh this season, he'll open the year against his former team. And frankly, his ending in Denver wasn't believed to be the greatest, making a return one of the biggest headlines of the year. It'll also be the first opportunity for the NFL world to see the Steelers with their new quarterback. There's a ton of hype around Pittsburgh this offseason, and it makes sense for the league to want to put them on primetime television as much as they can. But, like the rest of the schedule, this is just a rumors. We'll find out if they actually do head to Denver in Week 1 when the schedule drops. Former Steelers offensive lineman says Mike Tomlin is on the hot seat. For quite some time now, there has been a vocal number of Steelers fans who have called for Mike Tomlin's job. Those shouts and calls for the job of Tomlin were at an all-time high last season when the Steelers lost consecutive home games to two-win teams in a span of 4 days, losing to the Arizona Cardinals and New England Patriots. While the Steelers went 3-1 the rest of the way, they were once again eliminated in the wild card round of the playoffs and became the first team in NFL history to surrender 30 or more points in 5 consecutive playoff games. Willie Colon played in Pittsburgh from 2006 to 12, winning a Super Bowl with the Steelers in the 2008 season. Now, in an appearance on the Craig Carton Show, he says that Mike Tomlin is on the hot seat in 2024. "I love Mike Tomlin, but I have to officially say, he's on the hot seat," Colon said. And when you talk about his overall record, you talk about in 17 seasons, he has an 8-10 playoff record, only 4 seasons with playoff wins, and he's had some bona fide teams even with Ben Roethlisberger. The issue with Mike Tomlin right now is he wins games he's supposed to win, but loses games he shouldn't lose. I'm saying to myself, well, who are the Pittsburgh Steelers? Are they the bullies, or are they the dweebs right now? If you lost to the Patriots and the Cardinals, you look like the dweebs. The 4 seasons with a playoff win certainly sticks out. And while I don't believe Tomlin will be fired after this season no matter the outcome, the Steelers need to win when it matters most, which they haven't done since the 2016-17 season. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Mike Tomlin? Leave your opinion in the comments.